Tonight on OC News.
A sentencing update on Cal State Fullerton's murder suspect comes to a close after nearly 4 years.
NCAA has voted on a rule change for the transfer portal.
Drop-in art workshops hosted by ASI offer students an outlet for expression and a break from midterm stress.
All this and more coming up on OC News.
This just now in tech news, the first responder on
There's been a lot of collaborative efforts
feel
over the years.
blessed to be here in Fullerton.
Brought to you by the broadcast journalism students
at Cal State Fullerton. OC News starts right now.
Good evening. Welcome to OC News. I'm Marissa Lavazari.
And I'm Joshua Potts. We want to thank you for joining us tonight. OC News is brought to you by the journalism students of Cal State Fullerton. We're starting off with breaking news out of Fullerton. Former Cal State Fullerton employee pleaded guilty this week for fatally stabbing an administrator back in 2019. Reporter Adam Garcia has further details on this case.
Hello, my name is Adam Garcia here with OC News in front of College Park's parking lot here on Cal State Fullerton, where a murder occurred on August 19, 2019, where a former employee of Cal State Fullerton, Truan Van Vo, killed his boss, Stephen Chen, and stabbed him 30 times here on this parking lot. Prosecutors allege that Vo used a fake tutoring business and submitted fake invoices to the school for reimbursement, approving his own fraudulent paperwork. Professor Gail Brisbane was on campus for her first day of work when the incident happened.
Throughout the morning, we started learning that someone had been stabbed and then someone had been killed. And I was starting to do the math as far as how quickly the police responded, and I realized I was probably in the parking lot while it was happening on the east side of the parking lot.
Safety is a big concern here on campus, and students had their take when it came to crime on campus, especially by an employee.
It's kind of startling that happened on campus and by an employee to another employee. So my safety is definitely somewhat in question because of this.
Truan Van Vo now pleads guilty of the murder of Stephen Chen and now faces a life in prison. That's all I have for you today. My name is Adam Garcia with OC News. Back to you guys in the studio.
And following more on this case, reporter Sarah Granillo went on to the Cal State Fullerton campus and asked fellow Titans about their reaction to the latest case.
It does worry me a little, just because if there's like one, there has to be maybe more.
I feel like maybe a better light source would also help, because the dimmer lights is harder to see people. So if someone's in trouble, the best they can do is push the emergency button, but sometimes it's not always around.
The U.S. House of Representatives made history on Tuesday when they voted to remove Republican Kevin McCarthy from the Speaker of the House. The vote to oust McCarthy was initiated from fellow Republican Matt Gaetz. McCarthy's Republican allies failed to block the motion from moving forward. McCarthy was removed by a 216 to 210 vote, with eight hard-right Republicans voting against him. This is the first time in U.S. history in which the House has voted to remove a speaker. The vote has left the lower chamber of Congress in chaos. Following the historic oust, McCarthy has stated that he will not be running for House Speaker again.
President Joe Biden and California Governor Gavin Newsom have ordered that flags remain at half-staff following the death of California Senator Dianne Feinstein. Feinstein passed away on Thursday at the age of 90 in her home in Washington, D.C. Feinstein made history when she became San Francisco's first female mayor in 1978 following the assassination of Mayor George Moscone and Supervisor Harvey Milk. Feinstein, alongside Barbara Boxer, were the first women elected to represent California in the U.S. Senate in 1992. Majority Leader Chuck Schumer announced that we lost a giant in the Senate. Feinstein was the oldest sitting U.S. Senator and was an advocate for environmental protection, reproductive rights, and gun control. Mourners were allowed the opportunity to pay their respects to the late senator today at San Francisco City Hall. A memorial service will be held on Thursday.
Next on OC News, the NCAA shrinks windows for athletes to enter the transfer portal.
Plus, updates on Titan Sports and a student organization on campus hosts an art workshop for students. This and more coming up next after the break.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Whether it's advice on managing your anxiety or tools to help you stay grounded, Coping-19 provides a range of resources and self-care tips to help you cope with this pandemic. We can help. Find the resources that work best for you at coping-19.org.
General Motors and Ford will be laying off 500 workers between the two companies following the announcement that there will be an expansion of the strike made by the United Auto Workers Union. General Motors plans to lay off an additional 164 workers from their stamping plants in Parma, Ohio and Marion, Indiana. These plants normally send stamped metal parts to the assembly lines that are now shut off by the strike. Ford has announced that they have laid off 330 employees from the Chicago stamping plant and Lima engine plant. Following the UAW's decision to strike its Chicago assembly plant that makes the Ford Explorer and the Lincoln Navigator SUVs, General Motors released a statement in regard to the strike saying, "We have said repeatedly that nobody wins in a strike, and this is yet another demonstration of that fact." Anderson's economic group states that the first 2 weeks of the strike has cost a total of $3.95 billion in losses.
Worried about the weather today? Sarah has the latest updates on current temperatures and what to expect during the week. Sarah?
Although fall has begun, it's not quite sweater weather just yet. As temperatures are starting to heat up, it seems like summer just doesn't want to say goodbye. Get ready to crank up those ACs again as we creep back up into the 90s. Taking a look into today's weather, it's currently 90 degrees outside, so make sure you're staying hydrated if you're out in the hot sun. Later tonight, temperatures will also reach a low of 58 degrees. Winds are blowing from 2 to 9 miles per hour, with gusts up to 17 miles per hour, and the average humidity will be 53%. Looking into the 5-day forecast, we can expect sunny, clear skies all week. Yesterday, we felt the heat rise up to a striking 94 degrees. Later on, temperatures cooled down to a low of 62. The high is slightly cooler today at 91 degrees, with 58 degrees as the low, which is the coldest it will be all week. Tomorrow, we're heating back up to 94 degrees with a low at 62. The heat is sticking around for Friday with a high of 93 degrees and a low of 63. Jumping into the weekend on Saturday, we're cooling down to a high of 88 degrees, which is perfect weather to hit the beach or hang out at the pool with friends and family. The low on Saturday will reach 63 degrees, which is not too chilly if you plan on having a night out. Looking over this week's national weather, it's possible that heavy rains and scattered flash floods may appear today throughout the southern plains and parts of the lower Mississippi Valley. Plus, well above average and potentially record-breaking warmth continues across the Northeast and lower Great Lakes into midweek. That's all for today's weather report. I'm Sarah Granillo. Back to you in the studio.
Man, I really thought we were getting away from that weather. Like, I thought it was going to be cold outside. Now we're going straight into the hot, and it's also hot in NCAA. The Division I Council voted to shrink the length of the transfer portal window for any student athlete who is interested in testing waters. It is now 45 days instead of 60. Students can stay in contact with different universities and transfer at any time if they have already entered the portal, as long as they have not used their one-time transfer waiver. The council originally wanted to shrink the length to 30 days, but was amended to 45 days to give college football athletes time to deal with potential coaching carousels.
More sports news. It is that time of year. We have Elian Escalante in the studio to show the latest action in sports.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Elian Escalante, and I will be giving you the rundown of our action-packed weekend, where two of our football teams in neighboring Los Angeles battled it out on the road. Before we get into the game that America had been raving about for weeks, we cannot forget about the crazy overtime win by the Los Angeles Rams over the Indianapolis Colts. Let's get into it.
Matthew Stafford, who had already thrown for over 300 yards, connected with star rookie Puka Nacua in a clutch 3rd and 4, where Nacua jukes one defender and scores a 22-yard game-winning touchdown, and Rams win 29-23.
Now getting to Colorado for a wild battle between the reigning Heisman Trophy winner quarterback Caleb Williams and the Heisman frontrunner quarterback Shedeur Sanders.
Our angles that Williams can attack you from. It doesn't matter where he's at. He can throw the ball accurately from any platform. SC.
The action starts with Marshawn Lloyd, who runs the ball 27 yards for the first touchdown of the game.
This is Field. Hit the sideline. Lloyd down the sideline. Touchdown Trojans. 27. Watch Williams. He may run this one. Here's Williams pumping, looking, taking his time all day to throw it.
But just before the quarter ends, Caleb Williams completes a sidearm pass to Taj Washington for a 71-yard touchdown.
Hits the sideline. Touchdown USC. There from Edwards. First down.
However, Shedeur Sanders answers on the next drive and completes a 30-yard pass to Jimmy Horn Jr. for the touchdown.
Jimmy Horn.
Late in the second quarter, Caleb Williams completes a pass down the middle to Mario Williams for the 24-yard touchdown before halftime.
Williams.
But that didn't stop USC's momentum as Caleb Williams gets hit but completes the pass to Brendan Rice for the 6-yard touchdown. With their backs against the wall, Colorado needed a response when Anthony Hankerson dived in for the 2-yard touchdown.
For as good of an offense as they have to go win a national championship. Here's Williams under pressure.
On the next drive, Cameron Silman Craig goes up and gets the interception against Caleb Williams right before the fourth quarter. And shortly after, Shedeur Sanders completes a risky pass to Omarion Miller on 4th and 5 for the touchdown. And late in the fourth quarter, Buffaloes rally back as Shedeur Sanders completes a pass to Jimmy Horn Jr. for the touchdown to make it a one-score game. But with less than 2 minutes to go, Jace Freely kicks an onside kick, but it is recovered by the Trojans to close out the game. USC wins 48-41.
And now, for the second consecutive time since 2006, USC starts off 5-0. But the Trojans will be back in action Saturday night against the Arizona Wildcats. Tossing it back to you, Marissa.
Soccer fans, FIFA has announced that the 2030 World Cup will be held in 6 different countries across 3 continents. The first 3 games will take place in Uruguay, Argentina, and Paraguay before concluding in Spain, Portugal, and Morocco. The president of FIFA, Gianni Infantino, is eager to see how having multiple host countries can impact the world.
In a divided world, FIFA and football are uniting. World football has unanimously agreed on something as important as the hosts of the FIFA World Cup, thus setting another example of how dialogue and mutual understanding can result in agreements where actually everyone wins, in particular the fans, the players, and all the regions of the globe.
The FIFA Congress is set to announce the officially appointed host next year, so stay tuned.
Next on OC News, Netflix is planning to raise prices again.
Plus, we have the latest news in the entertainment world, and Chipotle robots may soon construct your bowls and salads. Find out about this and more on OC News coming up next after the commercial break.
You'll be the first, Mija.
I got in. Dad, I got in.
You should know this one. Who knows it?
So how's it going in school?
Finish those before you go.
Management function that seeks to develop mutually beneficial relationships with all of our audience.
Hey, do you know what this word means? Empowerment? Authority or power given to someone to do something. E-M-P-O-W-E-R. T. Empowerment.
Drop-in art DIY sessions give students a chance to get creative. Reporter Marcus Ovea has more on this event.
Good afternoon, I'm Marcus Ovea, reporting for OC News, and today we're here at Cal State Fullerton to cover drop-in art workshops. Here, today, students are decorating a hydro flask, all donated by ASI.
It's mostly, it's for the students and everything, and for the students to express themselves with art.
In a time when academic pressures can feel overwhelming, initiatives like this art workshop offer students a chance to find balance and discover the power of self-expression.
Well, essentially the event is for all students on campus, so any student can come in. And right now we have September, October, November, and then we also have some in the summer, not as frequent, but we have a few. And then our big event is late night paint night, which happens every once a semester.
It's a nice distraction from like the usual class setting. Like I'm an art student and stuff, and so I'm very in the art scene. But even with that, I like to have a break away from the class setting because you do a different art when you're being graded compared to like just out of fun. So I hope students just have like a nice relief from classes.
Reporting from the TSU, I'm Marcus Ovea here with OC News. You know that art isn't about what you see, it's about what you feel. Back to you in the studio.
The Writers Guild strike may be coming to an end, but Netflix is adding a new chapter to the saga. The streaming platform is planning to increase its price for ad-free subscription once the strike is over. According to the Washington Journal, at this time, the Washington Journal is unsure of the specific amount Netflix will raise its prices to. The last time the platform increased their prices, it came last year when they raised it $2. Netflix's price increase will reportedly first happen in the United States and Canada before being implemented in other countries.
Breaking the biggest stories in celebrity and entertainment news, Olivia Morales is in the studio for the latest. Olivia?
Thanks, Joshua and Marissa. The simple but iconic line from the movie Mean Girls prompted October 3rd to be the unofficial Mean Girls Day, and Tina Fey is auctioning off an annotated script to celebrate. Tina Fey directed and starred in the iconic flick to celebrate the quote-unquote holiday. The script from the Mean Girls Broadway musical is filled with the notes and drawings written and doodled by Tina Fey herself, currently going for $12,000. Fey is also using this for advertising for the musical, which just recently started touring in the United States. It's time to get ready for spooky season with movies coming to theaters this month. The Exorcist Believer kicks October off to a scary start, starting October 6th. This is a direct sequel to the iconic horror film The Exorcist. Ellen Burstyn from the 1973 film returns with her role as Chris McNeil. This is the first movie in a planned trilogy and was originally scheduled for Friday, October 13th, but is starting to play in theaters this Friday, October 6th. Another upcoming horror movie is Five Nights at Freddy's, which is a movie adaptation from the cult classic video game. Josh Hutcherson stars as the unsuspecting security guard at the abandoned arcade and kids' play place. The highly anticipated movie will be out in theaters on October 27th. The Las Vegas Sphere had its grand opening on September 29th, and U2 was there for the celebration. The Irish rock band was the first musical group to perform at the Las Vegas Sphere at the opening ceremony last week, and visitors flocked from all parts of the world to witness it. The construction of the venue began in September of 2018 and lights up the entire Las Vegas skyline with amazing visuals. The Exosphere consists of 2.1 million LED lights. The venue costs over $2.3 billion to make, and it seats over 18,000 people. This is the first of its kind, and fans and celebrities share the excitement of the grand opening. Inside the venue, There's 160,000 speakers and 260 million pixels, creating amazing and unique visuals for its visitors. That's all the entertainment I have for you. Back to you, anchors.
Students at Cal State Fullerton recently were able to enjoy a day filled with the latest advancements in technology. Our reporter, Samuel Enriquez, has the story.
The IT department hosted its yearly Tech Day, and one of its creators told me about the purpose of the event.
So Tech Day is the Division of Information Technology, Cal State Fullerton's Division of Information Technology's annual showcase of the newest, latest technologies that are available. But also we talk about certain topics and themes that are relevant for the day.
Tech Day not only showcases new tech, but also showcases its resources for students.
So it's very, very important, especially for our campus where we serve a lot of first-generation students. The Tech Day itself, as well as the different workshops that we have, it actually tells the students what resources that we have.
Plus, it's pretty fun for the students.
There are a lot of hands-on activities for students as well. Like, look, they're playing Mario Kart.
After speaking with some students, they share their enjoyment of Tech Day.
I honestly really enjoyed my time at Tech Day. It was really fun and enjoyable seeing all this wonderful tech here that I've never even heard of.
And I really enjoyed that there was interactions, like they're taking pictures, they're having like games for students, and they have like all these different types of displays with like iPads and computers, which is very good for us students who need technology.
You can expect Tech Day to be back next year, highlighting more of the newest technology. This has been Samuel Enriquez, signing off.
Chipotle is making changes to their famous burritos and bowls, but it's not what you think. Chipotle announced on Tuesday that they will be using machines to build their salads and bowls. The employees are then expected to take what the machine built and place the final touches to the burritos, tacos, and quesadillas. Chipotle is currently testing their machines at the Chipotle Cultivate Center in Irvine. Chipotle expects the robot technology to be used across California chains in the coming months. Thank you for joining us tonight on OC News. Our next telecast comes to you Monday at 5 p.m.
Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube page at Titan TV. From all of us here at OC News, have a great night.